Hi, I'm Paul Bartholomew, and you are great. This is I Want to Hold Your Band, and today's guest is lead singer of Sarah and the Sundays, Liam Yorgensen. This is a really cool deal. My daughters had introduced me to Sarah and the Sundays about a year or so ago, and they came out with a new album that's out now, Like a Damn Dog, which is so good. I highly encourage you to listen to it. And I got a chance to talk to Liam, which was so cool. It was so interesting, and Liam's exactly what you would think about as a lead singer of an indie rock band, just soulful and cool and introspective and poetic. And I loved our conversation. We talk about so much music: Pine Grove, Steely Dan, Norah Jones, Miranda Cosgrove, Little iCarly in there, the Front Bottoms, Phoenix. I mean, the list is on and on. As always, all the songs we talk about are listed in the episode description. You can click the links and vibe along with us. So without further ado, I give you the thoughtfully poetic, incredibly talented Liam Yorgensen. The first piece of music or artist or album that you remember coming into your life?
That's a hard one, honestly, because my dad is a musician, and I've been listening to music since I was in the womb. Family dinners, there was music playing, sitting outside, music playing, music on the TV, just always. So,
oh, wow.
I've been surrounded by music my entire life. The first record I can remember buying was Dookie by Green Day when I got my first record player, which is funny because I'm not the biggest Green Day fan. I mean, I like them, but at the time it wasn't something that was like super in my vein of interest.
How old were you when you remember?
Must have been 11 or 12.
11 or 12.
Yeah.
Such a different experience, like when different ages, like my daughters. But did you order it on Amazon? Did you go to a record store?
I bought it at Barnes and Noble, I think, or Borders or something. Like it was a bookstore, and I was like, I bought the record player too at the same time. I was like, Mom, I need this. Like,
really?
Yeah, I was like, I'm ready for vinyl. But it is like I grew up in the digital generation, so so much of the music I started with was on my iPod, and so it's kind of hard to say what came first, in terms of actually where I started branching off from my parents' music into my own. My big introduction to music that was what I felt like my own was Pandora. The Pandora radio app on my iPod Touch just exploded music for me. It was like I started with one song I liked, and that's how the Shins came into my life. I think I probably saw the Shins on Garden State, put the song into Pandora, and then it was like the Kooks, the Strokes, Arctic Monkeys, everything came flooding just from this algorithmic, I don't know, world of music. So yeah, Pandora really set the spark, and the fire never stopped. But yeah.
I want to go back. So your dad, is he still a musician?
Yeah. He's he doesn't play in a band really. I think he jams with his friends, sometimes. So I don't think he really plays shows. Maybe every once in a while he'll play at a restaurant or something. But he's been a musician his whole life, and he was in bands when he was younger. And he's got a little music room in our house, and he plays a bunch of instruments. Right now he makes YouTube covers. That's his big thing. So
oh, really?
He'll make covers and put them on YouTube, and they're fantastic. And he plays every instrument and sings them and produces his out filming it. And so yeah, but he's a avid musician, avid music listener.
Your mom?
My mom is less so. She's she loves music, but she's not so particular about it. Mm-hmm. I think she's more of a top 40. If there's a beat, I like it.
What's on is on, Joyce, whatever.
She has some favorites like The Fray. My dad just sent me a picture. My mom sent it to me of my first concert ever was The Fray, and it's me and my older brother, little tykes with Fray shirts on that are way too big for us. So yeah, I mean, she has some favorites, but she's definitely less particular than my dad. He's very.
I wonder if you got the Fray t-shirts at the concert, or if you bought them before. And
I can't remember. But
big shirts. You show up.
Yeah, they were down to my knees.
Do you remember? Is your dad, and was he when you were growing up primarily vinyl, or was he embraced the digital? And
he embraced the digital early on. He had a small vinyl collection and a sizable tape collection, but it was never really being used. I think as soon as it was available to him to go digital and, have speakers everywhere in the house playing the same thing. And he had a Zune that he was super proud of.
A what?
A Zune. It was this.
What is a Zune?
It was an Apple rival MP3 player.
Oh,
it was like
totally
high
knows.
fidelity. Yeah.
I remember it.
Yeah, he's that kind of musician where he's like, I want the high fidelity one. Yeah, he went digital. There was never a huge record collection. I definitely stole most of his record collection when I moved out. I love vinyl though. I there's something about the process of it and like the just being able to hold the music. Also just like the incentive to listen to a full album, I think is losing ground these days. And singles it's like a single world now, and especially just being within the music industry, people are just pushing you to release singles on their own over and over, and albums
you feel
are
that
dying.
pressure,
And, oh yeah, record labels are saying albums are dying and music videos are dying. And so I like vinyl because you got to listen to the whole album. You're not gonna take the record off and put another record on just to listen to one song. I mean, you might, but less likely. So for me, I have a vinyl collection and a record player in my living room. My roommates and we usually have something on if we're cooking or hanging out.
What of his collection are kind of your couple favorites that you're like,
I have Brothers in Arms. That I love that record. Frampton Comes Alive. That's got some serious play for me. It's hard to even know now what I've bought and what's
become your
yeah.
What type, by the way, of music does your dad play?
He's really into classic rock, yacht rock. So I'm sure you see Steely Dan on my list. That's straight from him.
Okay.
Dire Straits, Eagles, Jackson Browne. He loves Jackson Browne. I did a cover of These Days for his birthday, his 60th birthday. I got my whole band to play on it, and
did you put it out there, or you just gave it to him?
I just gave it to him on like a little flash drive, and yeah,
that's a great song.
Yeah,
I heard him play that.
Song.
I don't go to a lot of concerts, but I went to one right in Pasadena. This artist Christian Lee Hudson, 100-seat Masonic Lodge venue, and he just randomly Jackson Browne, because he lives like right in Eagle Rock or something. And he came and played like 5 songs to start out. This teeny little venue, and he played These Days.
He was like 15 or 16 when he wrote that song.
That's what he talked about.
That pains me. That's hard to hear as a songwriter. Just like,
I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah, so good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Do you think it was because your dad? I mean, it's interesting. My dad was kind of had performer in him, but he didn't think to do it as a career. Mm-hmm. But I mean, did you feel that? Was it kind of either encouraged, or did your dad?
No, I mean, I didn't ever really feel that from him. They wanted me to do music. I mean, he put me in piano lessons when I was 5 and encouraged me to play, any instrument I took an interest in. So I went all over the board, trumpet, saxophone, cello, violin, just trying everything. Until I kind of settled on, and piano was like my first love, and I did classical piano for 10 years. And
classical piano?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's intense.
It was intense, and it became too intense. And I have this, I don't know, this sort of rebellious side of me, I guess, at that age, where I was like, they would be telling me I was playing the song too fast, or I was not accenting the right notes, and I was like, there's no right and wrong. Like, this is music, this is feeling. So it started to irk me, and then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go play the piano by myself and do what I want to do. And I think that energy is really where writing music and creating my own music started. I didn't really have intention to do that prior to sort of like aging out of, piano lessons and lessons in general, and sort of wanting to do something original or more on my terms than, someone else's. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, and when you started doing it, did you start doing it on piano?
No, it was guitar. I mean, guitar for me, I picked up guitar, I don't know, maybe 13 or 14 years old. And that was like, for me, much more exploratory than piano. It was like, I taught myself how to play for the most part.
Oh, wow.
My dad plays guitar very well, but not a great teacher. So
yeah, parents can be cannot be great. The patience also is with your child. You're just kind of like,
yeah, you're not, and he'll be like, oh, I didn't like that. And I'm like, well, I'm learning. So
yeah, you don't get the kind of encouragement that if he is, that's great, keep going.
Yeah.
So
I was like, I'll do it myself. And so through that, I ended up learning some different sort of out in left field techniques and finding a lot of chords and alternate tunings and things that probably would not have been taught to me. And that was more like, oh, I could have fun here. I can do original things. And I didn't feel that way on the piano. I was like, I'm just going to be using 4 chords and writing the same songs.
Yeah.
And we have a couple songs I've written on piano that I'm proud of, but for the most part, it was guitar that really sent me into the writing era.
Did your older brother, did you say?
I have an older brother and an older sister.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
So you're the youngest.
Oh, I have 2 younger siblings too.
Oh, wow. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
So I'm right in the middle of 5. I have an older brother and older sister, and then a younger brother, younger sister.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah.
Any musical influences from any of them?
Oh yeah. My older sister and my older brother. My older sister put me onto a lot of great music. A lot of the music you see in the list is from her. And my older brother, we didn't share a great music taste, although there were occasional times in our youth that we crossed paths. And now, more so than ever, I think we have some common interests, but he was always more on the hip hop rap side. And when he started, there was a moment of angst in his teen years that he got into like sort of heavier, grungier punk music. And that interested me when he started listening to that. I was like, piqued my interest a little bit, and I was putting my ear up to his bedroom door being like, what is that? So I learned a lot from him. But my older sister totally she guided me heavily through.
Really?
And our it's funny, our front of house engineer who's on tour with us, he's a little older than us. He's 31, I think. And he is always like, as soon as he found out my music taste, he was like, you have an older sister who's probably 28, 29. And I was like, I do. And he's like, yeah, I can tell right away from your music taste. Cause there's a lot of like early 2000s, mid 2000s that just like, he said, like people your age don't have that unless they have that older sibling. So,
okay. So one of your top artists and albums, and they have one of your top songs is Pine Grove.
Oh yeah.
So tell me about Pine Grove. Like, I don't know anything. I've never.
Okay. Pine Grove. I found Pine Grove, I think right as I was leaving college. I dropped out of college my second semester, my freshman year, and I found the song Aphasia, which blew me away. And if people, I'm bad at favorites, and just as a rule, I think someone told me once, life happens between 2 and 9, and 1 and 10 aren't really so important.
That's a great. I love
and,
that.
And I hung on to that. I clung to that, and it helps me describe how I'm bad at favorites. So.
Yeah.
Typically, if someone asks me for a favorite, I'll give them a top like 3 list or something in no particular order. But if I had to pick a favorite, it's Pine Grove. And Aphasia is probably my favorite song I've ever heard. It just connected with me just like sonically and lyrically. And the music is so smart and so honest and raw. And it was like, I found that song, and I have a tendency to find a song and just stick with it and not check into the rest of the band's discography out of fear, almost, of just like,
Right.
I don't want to ruin this. But I did, and it was every single song they've ever released I like. They have no songs that I don't like.
Wow.
So Pine Grove became an obsession, a total obsession. And Aphasia just took me and did not release me. And it's just undescribable. The way it affects me, their music, and it's so raw and just like sonically raw and honest, and honesty is something that I value so much in music, which I can connect to so much of the artists on my list. Is just their music is really honest, and it's smart, and it's clever, and it's catchy at the same time while also being complicated, and it's all these things I want to do with my music. They've done and they've succeeded in. And yeah, I could talk for days about Pine Grove.
Wow, that's so great. Do you remember when you heard, was Aphasia the first song of theirs? And did somebody show it to you, or did you just stumble upon it?
It was like a Spotify Discover Weekly pick, I think.
And you just heard it.
I just heard it, and it was like the first note. I was like hooked.
Have you ever met or interacted?
I have, and it's not a good story. No, it's a great story, but it's not good for me. I was on tour. I want to say this was like 2 years ago. One of my bandmates, Miles, had to use the bathroom. So we stop at this random truck stop, Dairy Queen combo. And I'm in the van, and I'm like, you know what? I might as well get out and use the bathroom while we're here.
Smart.
So I walk into the bathroom, and 2 of my bandmates there's 2 urinals in a stall. So 2 of my bandmates are at the urinal. So I go into the stall, I pee, I turn around, and this is like big COVID times. Everyone's still masked up. So I turn out of the stall, and there's the lead singer of Pine Grove with the mask and a hat on. I recognize him instantly, and I speak his full legal name to him. I just look at him and I go, Evan Stevens Hall? And he's like, uh-huh. And I'm like at a loss for words. And like I have their lyrics tattooed on my arm. So Long Aphasia is tattooed on my arm. And like I was like trying to express to him how much I loved his music. Totally forgot we were in the bathroom. And then my bandmates kind of like realized, the ones who were at the urinals turn around and they're like realizing what's going on. And they're like, oh shit, like he's not gonna handle this. So they come in and they're like, what he's trying to say is that he's like your biggest fan, and you know, and I'm just there like stuttering, like not making noise, being like, and I want to show you,
Did you show him
I tried. I'm not sure how much of it came across, and then eventually he's like, hey, I have to use the bathroom, like let me meet you outside. And we're like, okay, because we had him cornered by the sink, like we totally forgot we were in the bathroom. And I was like, if I had like really had to pee and I had just come off from, you know, like the van, and I would be like totally upset if someone like stopped me from doing that for, you know, a certain amount of time. Not upset, but like, you know, I'd probably be in a hurry. So we met them back outside, and the drummer was with him too. Just by chance, they had both gotten sick, so they got off of the tour bus and they rented a car and they were driving together, and we happened to stop at the same rest stop, and I embarrassed myself, and I was typing out a message on Instagram for like an hour in the van afterwards, like, I am so sorry, like what I really meant to say is that I like your music has impacted me so much. And I never sent it. I was like, I'm just gonna let this die, and you know, maybe I'll meet him again someday and have the opportunity to be like, wasn't that funny when I...
That is incredible. Don't you feel like cosmically that's kind of fucking crazy?
The chances are insane.
They're like minuscule.
Yeah, and at the time, we were a similar sized band to them.
Okay, so we're going to listen to Aphasia from the album Cardinal, 2016, and the artist is Pine Grove. That's fucking great.
It's so good.
Oh,
just raw.
You feel it, yeah.
You don't even have to know what it's about. You can just feel it, which is like magic to me.
When you hear a song, what's the first thing? Do you hear this? I mean, and it can be multiple things.
Yeah.
But do you hear the song, the music, and vibe first, or those can be all different things, or the lyrics? And I say that because, like, I just hear the music and the melodic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a lyrics guy, so if a song has bad lyrics, it's a bad song to me, even if it sounds awesome. Not, you know, as a judgment for other people, but just my personal judgment of a song is if the lyrics aren't good, the song's not good. So I'm hearing lyrics first, and the way they're using the words. Even if I don't understand the lyrics, I have an internal sense of whether or not they appeal to me, and they have to appeal to me first before I'm digging into the background of the song and the music. Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to jump around because I was going to do... Yeah, let's go with Steely Dan.
Okay.
They're one of your favorite artists, and Asia, great album.
Yeah.
But then Kid Charlemagne, which is one of your favorite songs, is from The Royal
Scam.
Yeah. So tell me about... That was through your dad?
That's through my dad. Totally my dad. I mean, Steely Dan, like I probably knew the discography in the womb. That's his favorite band, and I've heard so much. It's one of those bands where... And it's almost embarrassing because this feeling where you know a song but you couldn't even say the title of the song, but you know every word of it.
Right.
I'm that way with Steely Dan. I mean, I know a lot of the songs well because it's one of the bands I picked up from him that I continued listening to. And I rejected them for a while, actually. Early on, I was like, this is dad's music and get this out of here. But, you know, once I came to musically, and I was like, this is actually so good and insanely well produced for, you know, the 70s. And
what do you think that switch was when that was?
I think it was when I started making my own music, and I was like, this is actually really hard. And like, they were doing amazing stuff. And Steely Dan is another band that's just like so clever, and the musicians are just top notch, and the recording quality is top notch. And I think a big part of Steely Dan for me is just nostalgia, just like being by the pool with Kid Charlemagne playing, and like I have all these like very distinct sort of hazy visual memories of that Steely Dan is in the background of. So
Right.
it was just such a big part of my childhood that I love all of it, you know. And I'm not 100% sure I would, had it not been such a big part of my childhood. If I were to just stumble across Steely Dan now, I think I would be very impressed, but it would be one of those bands that I'm like, I'm impressed, but I'm not interested.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the Front Bottoms.
Oh yeah.
So the Front Bottoms are filled up. I mean, you've got artist, a favorite album, a favorite song, favorite pump up song.
Yeah.
How did you come to, and it's all around 2011, 2013, I think that. So how did you come to them?
My sister. Yeah. My sister heard the song Looking Like You Just Woke Up in Hot Topic. And
I don't know why that makes me laugh.
It's funny. It's funny. Yeah. And it's like, it's so of the era. It's just cliche. But she heard that song. She ran home and Googled the lyrics. And I think I heard it from her first. We were driving to visit our cousin in Boston. And I must have been 12 or 13 at the time. It was still pretty new released. And I was like sitting in the seat, just kind of like on my phone or something, and then I look up and I'm like, what's going on right now? Like, you know, something just hit me, and I was like, I've never heard anything like this before.
This is just the two of you driving, or your family?
Yeah, just the two of us. Yeah. That ride to Boston was full of new music discoveries for me, but the Front Bottoms, I mean, how Pine Grove happened at 19, the Front Bottoms happened at 13, and it was like, just they're so clever and so honest, and it instilled confidence in me, the Front Bottoms, because they, like Brian Sella, the lead singer, like his voice is not classically great. Although Brian Sella, if you're listening, I will ride and die for your voice. I know people are like, you know, he gets criticism on it, but he sort of taught me that you don't have to have that like perfect, angelic, beautiful, soft voice. You can have emotion and roughness and rawness in your voice and still convey what you're trying to convey in an effective way and in a beautiful way, and people will like it. Because I heard that and I was like, I like this, even though it's a little rough around the edges and a little sloppy, and to me that just adds character, and I think character is what I've been searching for. So the Front Bottoms opened like the floodgates of, I don't know, a little bit of edge to my music taste. But
right.
Yeah, they're super. I mean, I have like a stick and poke tattoo of the Front Bottoms logo on my arm from when I was 14. And
really?
They were powerful for me, yeah. Because I was like, I mean, I would try, I didn't really start singing until I joined the band that I'm in 10 years ago. I didn't sing as a kid. Yeah, I never did choir, and I sang Hey Soul Sister by train into my mom's phone, and my brother found it and made fun of me for it, and I was like, all right, never doing that again.
You just randomly without music?
Yeah, I was just like, I wanted to hear what I sounded like, so I was like, I sang.
And you like record like on the app on the
It was a flip phone. It was like I could tell you the model of the phone because I'm a nerd like that.
Please tell me the model of the phone.
It was an LG NV2. It was one of those ones that like flips this way and has the keyboard on the inside, and I thought it was super cool. But anyway, I sang into that, and my brother found it and was like making fun of me for it. So I was like, all right, I'll stop there.
So let's take a jump. One of your favorite songs is Don't Know Why by Norah Jones.
Yeah.
In your whole list, that's kind of like one of these songs is different.
Yeah.
So how did that come in?
I just think it's a beautiful song.
Yeah.
I just love her voice, and I'm not like a ride or die Norah Jones fan. Like I don't know that much Norah Jones music, but that song is so beautiful, and just like it has like a calming effect on me.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's one of those songs that you're just like, just touches me. And I don't, the first time I ever heard it, I think my mom likes that song. And so I heard it as a kid, and I was like, this is beautiful. Like, she put some magic in this song. So
it's got that lovely piano.
Yeah.
Just like ding, ding. It's like just here and there. It's just gently.
Yeah. And the melody is just so like beautiful and calming. And yeah.
I wonder if there's nostalgia in that one with
definitely,
with your mom, and the same way Asia or Steely Dan with your dad. And it's also a great song.
This is a great song. Yeah.
I love that. Okay. Here's another fun one I'm really curious about. It's in your obscure song section.
Okay.
It's from 2008 iCarly song, Miranda Cosgrove, About You Now. So tell me about that.
I think that's okay. So I rejected pop music for so long. I was like anti-pop. A lot of that is like lyricism, because I'm such a lyric
purist.
Yeah, I would hear the top 40 and just be like, this is garbage, and this is, this has no weight and it has no value, and it's just, sound, until I started producing music. And then I started producing music, and then I started hearing pop music so differently. And I was like, first of all, the production on modern pop music is so impressive. I mean, these artists like Charlie XCX and Chappell Roan, the production is an art in and of itself. And, people are starting to get credit for it. Dan Nigro is a huge producer right now who's killing it, who's like people are, seeing him as the artist that he is, and like Phineas with Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
But it took me until I started producing music myself to realize the art of pop music and writing music too. To write a pop song is not as easy as you would think it is. And About You Now is a perfect like pop rock song. It's just perfect. The melodies and the production, and just like it could be an indie rock song in another world. And something about it I just love. And I found it I watched iCarly as a kid, and that was like in my time. And I think there's a show called Victorious. I don't know if you're
I knew somebody that's on
watching
Victorious, actually.
Did you really?
Yeah. Jen Carter. I don't know what role she played.
Well, I rewatched that show 4 or 5 years ago. Just like I needed a nostalgia binge.
Because did you watch it when you were...
As a kid, yeah. And the music in it was so good. I was like so impressed by the music they were writing for this like, tween show. And so I started to be like, well, what other music from that era could I listen to and give another chance to? And I found About You Now, and I was like, I love this. Like, this is just like a perfect pop song. And I say that about a few songs. Maud Latour has a song called Cursed Romantics.
Oh, I don't know that.
She's like, I think she's going to be really big.
Like as a newer artist?
A newer artist. That's a perfect pop song. And there are just a few that I'm like, and this is like, it's a pop song of the era, so it's totally different than what's happening now.
Right.
But
What do you feel
God,
makes, in your mind, in your opinion, a perfect pop song?
Easy listening is important. I mean, it's hard to produce a song and not have anything specifically stand out so that it takes you out of the atmosphere of the song, because you want to be drawn into the song. And for a non-musician, what I would say, like an average music listener, you want to feel, and you typically do feel, like the whole song at once as an entity and as just a work of art. And these songs to me are like, there are aspects of it and little production details that are amazing that don't put all their cards down at once. They're just kind of like sneaking up on you. And a perfect pop song to me is just like, you can just get into it and you can stay there until the last note, and then you just like want to listen to it again because you're like, I didn't pay attention to anything, I just felt that, and it felt good. You know? And it's like songs that make you feel good, and you don't have to dissect them. Or I think a lot of musicians, especially people who produce or songwriter, are very interested in their specific instrument, will listen to their instrument in songs. Like I know the drummer from my band Quinn is often like, I only heard the drums in that song you just played.
Right.
Yeah. It's like I wasn't paying attention to anything else. And I do that, but with production, with taking up production, I'm sort of, I have to listen to a song 5 or 6 times to be like, what was that synth in the second verse that came in just like very low, and what was that interesting chord change they did in the bridge? And that's a blessing and a curse, because you're like, I'm not really being immersed in the song, but a perfect pop song will just let me feel the whole song and just like be immersed, and like I feel like I'm on the dance floor at a club, and I'm just like without woe and without thought, almost even just feeling. So especially now, like you said, with seeing behind the curtain so much, that involved.
Well, it all comes back to iCarly.
Yeah, it all comes back to iCarly.
Okay, how about this? One is Art School Wannabe, and then maybe one more is 1901 Phoenix.
Art School Wannabe, Sorority Noise was a band that I found in my early teens that like helped me with my angst, and they just like the Front Bottoms, they presented a lot of the ideas I had in ways that were both digestible and also just comforting to hear someone else say your thoughts out loud and be like, I'm secure enough or proud enough of this thought to put it into a song and then show that song to the world. the front bottoms and a lot of like these bands, like 21 Pilots was big for me back then too, and Sorority Noise. And it was just like the angst that you feel in life being presented in a way that's like, this is okay. You know, we feel this, and I can say these like very intense things and just let them go in music. And that to me was so powerful. 1901 Phoenix, just magic. It's just magic. I mean, it's just like everyone dreams of writing a song like that. And Phoenix, I have a solo project called Company Gun, which is like more indie synth rock pop vibe, super inspired by that era of music. And I'm trying to find, you know, I never really had intention of like putting this music out, but I just like, I wanted to know what the magic was in that song. And like songs like Walking on a Dream and MGMT's music and 1901 is just like it's so simple, but it's remarkable, and it is, no one will ever do it again. So to me, that song is just like, I don't know how they did it, and I wish I wrote it so badly, you know? I also, you know, I have to give credit to How I Met Your Mother. I've been thinking about this because the music in the end of How I Met Your Mother, like there's a song on my list, Rewind by Goldspot, like classic, perfect 2000s indie rock. My taste in music is just like the credit scenes of How I Met Your Mother. They have so many good songs at the end of their episodes.
Okay, I don't know. I could go on and on with you. I have so much good stuff. The Kooks, but the Kooks and ELO we kind of covered, and Band of Horses was in there because I feel like that was a name that I.
That's from How I Met Your Mother. I
really?
found them from How I Met Your Mother. Yeah, Band of Horses.
Wow.
The Funeral was in like one of the very last episodes of How I Met Your Mother.
That's it, Liam.
Okay, I'm sad.
This is
so much fun.
Thank you so much for taking time. Have a great
Thank you.
time with the rest of your tour.
Thank you.
And it was a delight.
It was a pleasure.